The setting of the Precinct is a Verno city in the year 1983. There's no cyber warfare or high-tech surveillance getting in the way of hands-on, boots-on-the-ground, gritty police work. You're a cop doing the job face-to-face, whether you're on foot, in a squad car, or even a helicopter. You play as Nick Cordell Jr., the son of a respected police officer who was killed in the line of duty. Fresh from the academy, you're stepping into his shoes. The story isn't particularly deep. It mostly serves to keep the game moving forward. It's told through visual novel-style scenes, and while they're static, I think the voice acting was decent. Nothing groundbreaking here, but it does a good job of setting the tone and giving me a sense of the world I'm walking into. Crime happens dynamically all across the city. You can choose to respond to backup requests or focus on the task at hand. There's a time limit to these calls. Just like in real life, burglars and gang members won't wait for you to show up. When you capture criminals or gather evidence, sometimes it's just a one-off case, but other times it connects to something bigger, like uncovering the identity of a gang boss tied to the main storyline. Speaking of gangs, I wish they were procedurally generated. Right now, the two main gangs are part of the central narrative. Having dynamic factions could have pushed the sandbox element even further. As a cop, you'll do everything from issuing parking tickets to getting into full-blown shootouts. The police work is surprisingly detailed. When you arrest someone, you choose which charges to file. You can let your partner Kowalski handle it, but you earn more XP doing it yourself. If you make a mistake, say tagging a thief with murder, you get penalized. I found this system fun and engaging at first, though eventually it did get repetitive. That said, it took a while before it wore me out, so credit where it's due. Visually, the game looks great. The city is dense with detail, and the vehicles feel distinct, not just in appearance but in how they handle. The map isn't massive, but with how rich and focused the world is, I think it's the right size. Most of the environment is destructible. Oddly though, even things like concrete barriers break with minimal force. It's clearly not aiming for realism, and that's fine. The game leans more toward arcade-style action. Once you unlock the ability to commandeer vehicles, you can basically go full GTA. Any vehicle becomes your cop car, complete with lights and sirens. I once captured two suspects while driving a car without a back seat. Since I couldn't transport them, I just borrowed a nearby parked car and tossed them in. Easy, nobody cared, even though there were plenty of witnesses. The sandbox creates funny moments, like when I called for a spike strip during a chase, but the car stopped in the middle of the highway and the strip was placed several meters ahead. Civilians kept driving through it, blowing up their tires like nothing happened. One thing I appreciated was that every suspect has a unique identity. It makes even routine interactions feel alive. There are side activities like races, time trials, and artifact hunts. The racing felt surprisingly good. AI drivers behave differently each race, making it feel like you're competing against real players. I'm not big on racing or time trials in games like this, but luckily, they're optional. The core gameplay loop is simple but effective. Patrol, respond to crimes, make arrests, gain XP, level up, unlock new skills, repeat. Once you've maxed out your progression and finished the story though, it starts to lose steam. Without new skills to unlock or content to chase, the sandbox starts feeling a bit empty. That's when I felt it was time to put the game down. The Precinct is a solid game. The story could have been stronger, but it does enough to set the stage. The gameplay loop is fun and immersive, at least until progression stops and repetition kicks in. I do wish the game tracked your misconduct a bit more seriously, like stealing cars or crashing into civilians. But I think that was a deliberate design choice to give players more freedom. Maybe in the future, they could add a realism mode where every violation has consequences. The foundation is strong. If an expansion adds more content or new ways to play, I'd definitely come back to this. I enjoyed my time with it, and it's not a game I got tired of quickly. With all that said, I give Precinct a solid 7 out of 10.